Hope I do not mess with the camera. Anyway, this is my new gadget. This is how I measure the heat of the water when I'm frying, let's say, potatoes, boiling water. I can see where I am very fast. But from this distance bar, you look as if you're 30 degrees Celsius. And me?
32.
Oh, really? Not so accurate.
I don't think it works on human.
But works on water. Anyways, guys, today I would like to show you how to make pepper paste. Pepper paste is something that you put in a jar and make it around the season and for the whole year. If you're making, let's say, a potato dish or some kind of meat you want to cure, it increases the taste, sometimes a bit of hotness, changes the color and gives a bit of umami. By the way, I'm also going to give you a recipe of a spread that will blow your mind for sure. You can do this from scratch pepper paste, or you can buy a pepper paste from outside and then make it. And it's so good. I wanted to teach you both tomatoes and the pepper paste, but tomatoes are a bit harder. So for this year, I would like to first show you the easier one, the pepper paste. And the good thing about it is like you can find these tasty peppers almost all seasons, whereas on tomatoes, it just has to be just this season. So,
If I can find the peppers all year long, why do I make the paste?
this is the season where the sun really shows its power. So always much better to do these things in season. This is how you preserve it. Preserving the goodness, the sun, all the energy the sun gives to this beautiful thing passes through and becomes the paste. I'm going to do so much to this poor thing, you'll see, but still great. I have 5 kilograms of capia pepper, red, washed. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them all in half and with a spoon. Take the extra seeds off like this. All clean. I don't cut it with a knife like this, because then I'll lose this much. But when you do it with a spoon, you don't lose much. All my peppers are done, and in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you can do the 5 to 6 kilos. Now, I have water here that I've been trying to boil because of the wind. It took a bit of time. Now, I'm going to put all these into this hot water. There could be some seeds, but it's okay. Now, the temperature of the water, of course, drops. Depending on power of your stove, it's gonna come back to boiling. And from after it comes back to boiling, probably 20 to 25 minutes it's going to be done. And what it has to be, the skin is now very firm and stuck to the meat of the pepper, but it's going to be wrinkly and being able to be ripped from the flesh. And that's what we want. We have a Turkish word. In each episode, I would like to talk about a word, and this episode, without any studying beforehand, a word came. It's called bereket. There used to be goddesses in Anatolia called Kibele signing this bereket. And what is bereket actually? It's a thousands and thousands years old word for sustainability. But the meaning in itself carries other things than the word sustain. Like sustain is like, I have 10 kilos of this, and for the next year I want to have 10, you sustain it. But for bereket, let's say I have this pepper, and next year hopefully I have more. And also our grandmothers used to do stuff like, Refika, if you don't eat the food, if you throw the food on your plate, the bereket of your life will go away. It could be about money, it could be about whatever you do. Like if you throw away, this is life, and water was used, electricity was used, oil was used to bring all these goodness to our plates. And if I throw away a big chunk without using it, for now I didn't give the value of this and the credit, and in life some other thing could be taken from me. This is a belief system, and it's the difference of sustainability from bereket, but it's a 1,000-year-old belief, and I like the word. I hope you like the idea as well. I'm going to put all these so that we also use it. If you want your pepper paste to be hot, you can use these hot peppers as well. What you should do is, depending on the hotness you want, you take the top off and make an incision because the seeds and the things that relate to the seeds are the hottest parts. I'm going to leave everything and I throw this with the rest of the peppers inside. For 5 kilos, these are quite hot. I'm going to use 7 or 8. This will totally depend on your taste and the hotness that you can bear or enjoy. Once they are done, take them out of the boiling water and put them in a dry and clean sack. If you don't have a grinder, this is the time to peel off the skins. Put something heavy on the sack and let the excess water drain overnight. Okay. Now, for a whole day, the peppers gave away all its water and became something like this. Now, I have put the medium size holes here. It's a meat grinder. You can add it to your KitchenAid or etc. Or you can buy a manual one, which in Turkey is sold for 25 liras, $3 or some 3-4. If you don't have it, yesterday I showed you, you can just take the skins off and put it into a processor. Don't push too much, put just one by one. What this grinder machine does is it doesn't let the skins get into the paste. What these skins are, it doesn't have taste and it has bad texture, so don't want those. So every once in a while, like after I make a kilo or something, all the skins will be collected here and the machine will not work. So I have to take everything off, clean it and then continue. Once you're finished, make the machine work more, because as you can see, I haven't been doing it for almost 45 seconds to 1 minute. It's still going on. Let it empty whatever there is. So after a while, this will stop. These are inside the machine. You'll find out these, and these are the skins that we were trying to get rid of. And take this part out. You can see inside and clean as well. And these are going to go to the compost. As you can see, this is probably 1.5 kilos worth of pepper paste from all these 5.5, 6 kilos. And normally I would continue and cook it immediately and put them in the jar. But because the light is going away, I'm going to first refrigerate this. Normally you don't have to. The earlier this meets with salt and gets closed is better. But because of these conditions, tomorrow I'm going to make a great paste that you can eat any time of the day, from breakfast to any kind of snacks, or eat it with meat, and also make it a classic pepper paste preserve. Now we are in our third place, back to our original kitchen. Here is the pepper paste that I've done yesterday to kill all the bacteria. I'm going to reduce the heat to 75 degrees. Meanwhile, doing that, I want to add a bit of oil and a bit of salt to preserve. Now, there's still a bit of skin, but it's not too much, so we can afford that.
What if I don't peel off the skin?
We didn't peel off the skin. What we did was use the grinder. Now I'm putting 2 tablespoons of salt, by the way. If you say, I don't want to do it at all, what will happen is, for example, if you're doing something like soup, then these will float. But if you use this paste as a side for köfte, the meatballs, it won't have a negative effect. For the saltiness, please have a taste. And I haven't tasted the hotness, so it's quite hot. Not a killing one, but it's quite very nice. It can be a little more salty because it's going to be added in the food, so I'm also adding half a tablespoon of salt as well. So 2.5 tablespoons of salt, but please decide it to your taste and to your usage, which kind of usage you're going to use. How normally this pepper paste is done is, until this stage is the same. After this, what they do is they lay this paste on sometimes clothes, sometimes big trays, and put it under the sun and turn it once in a while, and then the sun will dry the paste and will also give its goodnesses to the paste. But we're in Istanbul, it's 98% humidity and the weather is not so clean. Therefore, for the city people, this is hard to do. So this is a city version of it. Now, this has passed the 75 degrees. So it's all done. I turn off the heat. Now it's time to jar it. What I did, I put, actually, Yağız and Burak did, the jars to first the washing machine and then to the oven so that they get sterilized. And we boil the lids here. We don't put it because there's always plastic in it. With the hotness, I'm just putting it here so that it will dry. So, how we put the pepper paste here. Recently what I do, like if you put some oil at the bottom, if there's like air stuck on it, or if you turn the jar, it acts like an insulator. As you can see here, there are air bubbles and we have to get rid of them. Look, for example, there's a face here, as you can see. What I do, I go down and press it like that, and then it's done. Why are we trying to get rid of the air? Because the air in itself would age the paste. All good. Then, with a clean paper towel, clean the edges and make it a straight surface. Then we have to cut its contact with air. So again, I'm going to use the olive oil as the insulator. If in your country olive oil is too expensive or you don't have a reach to olive oil, you can use any kind of vegetable oil that you have access to. Then I close the lid. It's still very hot, like this. And let it cool down. And then until you use it, keep it in a dark place. When you open the lid, put it in the refrigerator, then use it for each meal that you do. This will go for 2 years, 3 years. After you open it, again, you have to keep the olive oil, take a spoon, and then make a flat surface and put some more oil so that it doesn't have a contact with air, so it will take more time. So this is how it is done. But now, by using some of this pepper paste, I want to give you another recipe. It's called ajuka in Turkish. It's going to be my version, actually. In the Balkans, it has different names, and if in your country that you have a similar version, please inform me so that I also learn. The people who look down will also realize that in your country you have other versions of it, and that's the beauty of YouTube, I guess. So, I heat up a tablespoon of cumin and a tablespoon of coriander. The heat will increase their flavors. If you don't have the seeds, you can use the powder ones. I beat up 1 tablespoon of black pepper and add the heated spices in my mortar and continue beating all together. Meanwhile, I heat up 4 handfuls of walnuts, and walnuts go perfect with pepper paste. After chopping all the walnuts, I mix everything with 10 tablespoons of pepper paste. I also add a bit more olive oil so all the tastes go together well. I take the skins of the ginger. Now, Turkish people are watching this and say, Refika, you wouldn't put ginger to ajuka. Okay, originally it's not put, but this is Refika's version. And this works like lemony taste, and it increases the taste of the pepper paste tremendously and makes it more healthy as well. So about walnut size of ginger. And one final touch, zahter kekik. Zahter has 2 meanings. One is this kind of thyme and oregano family tasting herb, and the other one is a mixture which also sometimes involves this herb plus sesame seeds, watermelon seeds, some other kind of spices as well. It's a mixture, 2 things different, but this is the original zahter. So I'm also going to add this. Probably you don't have this at home, but you can also even put dried thyme as well. You don't have to eat this immediately. Actually, the taste will get better the next day. This is a spread. This could be a dip. This could be a meze upon other things. This is still warm. You can also put this in a jar and keep it in the fridge for a long time. So, shall we eat it?
Yes. Are you eating it with simit?
Yes, I am. That's it. For now, that's all. Thank you. Hopefully next week our kitchen will be ready and we'll have new videos on our new kitchen. Take great care.